So for each problem, we're going to do these several steps, and this is going to ensure that you actually understand the problem and you put everything in the right spot. So I'm going to do these with you. So you read the problem. If mass of an object is 35 grams, so I know the mass is 35 grams, and it takes up 7 centimeters cubed. 7 centimeters cubed I know is volume, and I know that because centimeters cubed measured volume. Also, it says it takes up that amount, so the amount of space taken up is volume. Okay. So in some of these, you're going to have to do a little thing. Okay, so we have our given information. Now we have to figure out what they're asking us for. They're asking us for density. So density is what we're trying to find. I know density is going to be measured in grams per centimeters cubed because that's what they give me. Our equation for density is mass over volume. So it's super important here that you plug in your information in the proper order. If you do it in the wrong order, you will get the wrong answer. So we're going to take 35 divided by 7, and we get 5. So our density is 5 grams per centimeter cubed. Let's do some more. Frank has a paper clip. If it has a density of 1.2 grams per centimeter cubed, so we know the density is 1.2 grams per centimeter cubed, and has a volume of 1 milliliter, what is its mass? So we're looking for mass this time. I know mass is going to be measured in grams because they give me grams in the density. The rearranged equation is right here. Mass equals density times volume. So it's going to be 1.2 times 2. So our mass is 1.2 grams. Let's do one more. Jill has a gel pen. It has a mass of 8 grams and a density of 2 grams per centimeter cubed. What is its volume? I know volume is going to be measured in centimeters cubed because that's what they give me in the density. My equation, and if you don't know how to figure this out, you need to memorize it. Okay, mass divided by density, super important that you do this in the right order. 8 divided by 2 is 4 centimeters cubed. Okay, so you have a whole bunch of density practice problems. I am going to go through them all with you now, but if you don't need to watch this video, if you've got them, that's fine. You can check your answers with the answer book in class. A rectangular block of copper weighs 1,896 grams. The dimensions of the block are 8.4 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters by 4.6 centimeters. From this data, what is the density of copper? So they give me the mass right here. And instead of giving me the volume, see my hint here? First, find the volume of the block, length times width times height. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that on my calculator here. So my volume is 212.52 centimeters cubed. They're asking for density. I know my density is going to be grams per centimeter cubed because that's what they gave me. My equation is mass over volume. Plug it in, 1,896 grams divided by 212.52 centimeters cubed. So I'm going to do that on my calculator. So we get 8.9 grams per centimeters cubed. Feel free to round your answers as you see fit. In this case, I would leave it as 8.9. You don't have to write all that. A flask that weighs 345.8 grams is filled with 225 milliliters of carbon. So let's just draw a picture of that. So we have a flask, and this flask is on a scale, and it weighs 345.8 grams. We're going to fill it up to 225 milliliters, And then we're going to weigh it again. And the weight of the stuff and the flask is going to be 703.55. It says, from this information, calculate the density of the carbon tetrachloride. So my hint to you is find the mass of the stuff. So this is the mass of just the flask. This is the mass of the stuff and the flask. So to figure out how much the stuff weighs, I'm going to subtract, right? So 703.55 minus 345.8. So the stuff weighs that much, 357.75 grams, and the volume that it takes up is 225 milliliters. And we are supposed to find the density. The density is going to be grams per milliliter this time. I know that because that's what they give us. The equation is the same. So we have 357.75 grams over 225 milliliters. So that comes out to 1.59, or you can round to 1.6. I don't care. Number 6, find the mass of 250 milliliters of benzene. The density of benzene is 0.8765 grams per milliliter. On this kind of question, a lot of people get tripped up, so just be careful that you're reading all the words. It says find the mass. So I'm looking for mass. And it gives us 250 milliliters of benzene. I need to know off the top of my head that milliliters is volume. Okay. And then the density, they give us the density of benzene. So I know my mass is going to be grams because they give me grams in density. The rearranged equation for mass is density times volume. On these three-part equations, you can kind of cheat a little if you know how. This one on top is always going to be equal to these two multiplied together. So let's do that. Let's multiply them together. So the actual mass of the stuff is 219 grams per milliliter. So this one is very much like number 4 that we did. A block of lead has the dimensions of 4.5 by 5.2 by 6 centimeters. The block weighs 1,587 grams. From this information, calculate the density of lead. So we're going to try to find density. And they give me the length, width, and height, so I have to calculate the volume. That's 140.4 centimeters cubed. And the mass they give us. So I know density is going to be grams per centimeters cubed. I know the density is mass over volume. And make sure you put these in the right order. It's very easy to flip them. So 11.3 grams per centimeter cubed. Okay. I'm going to draw a picture again for this one so you can see what's going on. We have 28.5 grams of iron. So that's the mass of iron. It's going to be added to a graduated cylinder this time. So the graduated cylinder has in it 45.50 milliliters of water. We're going to drop that iron in there. The graduated cylinder is going to go up to 49.10 milliliters. So from this information, calculate the density of iron. So I need the volume of iron first, and the volume is going to be how much it went up. So again, like last time, I'm going to subtract. The volume of the iron is 3.6 milliliters. So now I can get about my business. So we need to find the density. Density is grams per milliliter. The equation for density is mass over volume. So 7.9 grams per milliliter. Our last one. What is the volume? So I'm looking for volume of silver metal that weighs exactly 2,500 grams. And the density of silver we know is 10.5 grams per centimeter cubed. So the volume is going to be in centimeters cubed because that's what they give me. The rearranged equation, again, now if you want to cheat on this one, so the mass is always, whatever's on top here on the right side, is always going to stay there. And these two are going to switch places. So volume is mass over density. So mass on top, density on bottom, 23.8. And that's centimeters cubed. You guys, if this is not helping, let me know and I'll show you in person in class.